Alright guys, welcome to a new video. This is a 2003 Yamaha Blaster. The top end was just rebuilt on it, so it's pretty fresh. I'll start it up here in a second. But it's having a couple issues here. The kickstart, for one, doesn't always grab. So it grabs a couple times and then all of a sudden it won't grab. Check it out. It grabs more times than not, but now it's grabbing every time. Oh, there we go. It didn't grab right there. Now it's grabbing every time. Of course, when you do the video. Oh, right there. See, it's not grabbing. So I'm thinking either, yeah, see, now it's not grabbing. I'm thinking either the spring in there is broken, or one of the gear teeth is either off, broken off, or worn down. We're gonna be taking off this cover today and figuring that out. The second one is a bigger issue. It does not shift past second gear. So it can shift into the first. There's first right there. See first? Oh, now it won't shift into first. Are you kidding me? There we go. First, neutral, and then second. Yep. I think I got it. Yeah, see, it won't shift. It's stuck right there. So I'm thinking maybe, possibly, a little piece of the gear for the kickstart gear got stuck between the shift shaft, and now it's not shifting past second gear. That's just my prediction here. We're gonna be taking off this cover and trying to diagnose this problem. Hopefully it's not bigger than that, because if it is, we have to split the case. And that would be a bummer just to fix that. So we'll see. We're gonna start digging into it. We'll start this thing up here, see how it runs, and then go from there. I believe the headlight works on this thing. I'm not sure. Looks pretty good otherwise. As I said before, it's a 2003 version, so it's pretty decent. Sprocket and chain look good. You can see it's got a brand new cylinder in here. I think brand new reeds as well. At least it's got a reed spacer in there. Seat cover looks newer on it. It needs to be a little bit tighter, but overall, not a bad machine. Tire tread isn't too bad. So if we can get this thing to run correctly, it'll be a nice little machine. All right, first step, let's start her up. Take out the spark plug, put a little gas down there, see if she fires up. See if we're getting spark. Spark plug looks pretty good. Not too shabby. Alright, check that out. Are we getting spark? I don't know why this thing is so hard to start. Shouldn't be if it has a new top end. No spark. That would be why. Huh. Let's go this way. There we go. So it looks like the key position on this thing is reversed. On is off, off is on. Well, we figured that out. Let's try this again. All right, we're getting good spark. It should fire right up now. Let's just check the air filter here. Sounds like there might not be one on there. Yeah. So we need a screw for that. I figured that wasn't on there. Kind of sounded like it was sucking in too much air. So that needs to go like that. And that goes like that. Looks like the screw fell out of there. But it does run. Looks like it's running a little rich too, where it's got probably too much oil going to it. But let's take a look underneath the cover, see what we can find. Oil looks like it's got some metal particles in it, probably from that kick starter grinding away in there. So I'm guessing a few chunks fell off of that. Guess we'll find out here pretty soon. We've got to get the kick bolt off. That looks like a beast to get off. And then we've got a couple different 8 mils, and then I think the oil pump cover needs to come off as well. So yeah, let's look at those metal particles in there. All right, guys, check it out. You see the metallic-y sparkles in there? That's all metal. There's no big chunks or anything like that, but there's definitely metal being ground down in there. That gives us a clue that something bad is going on. So let's dig into it. All right, so it looks like this was already taken off before. That was already loose on there. So that comes right off like that. That makes my life a lot easier. All right, now we're going to be going on to the rest of the case. Oil pump cover needs to come off. They're kind of stripped out of it. So somebody definitely had this thing apart. You can tell by the gasket maker around it too that it's been sealed up again. I'm guessing they just didn't have a gasket and decided to go the easy route. A lot of the times is what happens is you take it apart and you want to ride it the same day, so you just put the gasket maker on there. I've done it a couple times. And it works fine until you get the gasket that's supposed to be on there. Alright. Thing's almost off. I wonder if this is bypassed. Guess we'll find out here right now. Yeah, oil pump is not attached. You can see there's no lines going to it. So I think it's just mixed. Let's see here. You can see the oil pump. Usually there's a line coming from it down into the main line right here, and then it gets pumped up through this guy into the carburetor. So there's no line going into the carburetor. So we know that is being bypassed. All right, next step. We can take this guy off of there for now. Anything else? Looks like I've got all of them. Let's see, there's a 10 mil right there. One of the two. Let's see. Oh, it's a 10 mil. All right. This cover can come off now. Guess we'll see what's underneath there. The oil pump has to come off too, I believe. We're just gonna take it off for good measure. Just held on by a couple bolts here. Nothing too serious. That little guy. One down here too. That should just pull right out. Like so. Alright, now we can take off that cover. The oil pan below it just in case here. Alright, let's take this cover off of here. Ooh. Stuff's holding pretty good. Gasket maker. Maybe. Big screwdriver. Alright, so I was able to take this bolt off right here, this one off right here, and this whole mechanism fell down, brake lever fell down. And now, moment of truth, we can get this guy off of here. Alright, let's see what we're working with now. It's not sounding too good behind there. Let's get this wire out of here too. Okay, let's see. Aha. Looks like the spring was out of there. We'll take a closer look at that in a little bit. Okay, let's see what we got going on in here. I haven't looked at it yet, so let's see. The shifting mechanism is really loose in there. You can see down here. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. I'm guessing that's just out of place. You can see that spring really chewed up in here. It's not horrible, but it's not great. See clutch plates. Clutch plates are looking fine. Clutch basket's not looking too bad. Any metal chunks at the bottom? Can't feel any yet. We're gonna have to take the clutch off and take a closer look in here. See how this comes off of here. I believe that guy comes off there too. 10 mil. Wasn't really on there too tight. Little shift rod. Put that back through there. See if we can zip that guy off there. Alright, let's see what we find here. That all looks good in there. Little washer right there. Feels magnetic. That washer goes right there on the front of that. And then one in the back as well, you can see. One in the back, one in the front. Washer in the back, washer in the front. Alright, let's take a look at the shifting mechanism in here. Looks like everything is pretty decent in there. Should we see if it shifts through the gears here? I'm gonna go around and see if we can shift it now. You can see it's not really. That's first gear. Here. Alright guys, so bad news. It looks like the cases might need to be split. It does not go past third gear, or I guess second gear. It pulls that up, a little star in there, you can see, pulls that up right to second. It goes just beyond second and then back into neutral. So it's like a false neutral past second gear. So my guess is something is not right with the mechanism inside the actual engine. So I think we need to split the cases and see what's going on in there. I don't know if the the path where the little pins drop in is getting caught on something in there, or what's going on. But the star is in good shape right here. The pins are in good shape. You can see the pins are on the star. They're not bent or anything. The actual mechanism that's doing this is in good shape. And I tried manually spinning that thing, that star-shaped shifter, and nothing is working. It's just stuck in second gear. Won't go past that. All right, in order to get this motor out, we need to take off the plastics, the gas tank, the seat. I took off the clutch cable already. That was pretty easy. The pipe is on there with 2 bolts. That comes off. Gotta take off the head, the cylinder, the reeds, the carburetor, the air boot, the chain, and then we can pull the motor out. And I think it's pretty easy to split the cases. So let's do all that. I'll get the motor out on the bench and we can begin working on stripping down the motor. All right, we've got the gas tank, the seat, the plastics, the pipe, and then we just took out the swing arm bolt. We're ready to take the engine out now. So let's try taking this thing out. All right, engine is out. All the parts are laid out right here, all organized in bags. That's the way to go. And over here, we're going to start to disassemble the top end. Everything needs to come off. So let's do that first. All right, let's get the head off of here. Stripped out. Fantastic. I love it when they strip out like that. I don't know why that one's stripped out, it doesn't look like it. 13 millimeter. Might just need a little bit smaller one, I'm not sure. Yeah, that's pretty stripped out. Let's see if a 12 can grab onto it. Sucker's on there. There we go. Is there a Loctite in that or something? Alright. That is pretty nice. Alright, take a look at the piston here. It's got a brand new top end, you can see. All nice and good. Weird piston. But yeah, looks pretty good. Let's take off the cylinder next. So there's going to be 12 mils all the way around here. Alright, cylinder is coming off of here. Felt pretty smooth. Cylinder looks good. No damage there. Piston looks good. Piston looks really good. Try to get this gasket off without breaking it. Gasket coming off. I think we might need new gaskets anyway. This one's pretty thin. Very thin actually. Alright, piston is coming off. Alright, that looks pretty good. This guy needs to come off. Flywheel bolt. Let's take the sprocket off first. Right back here. So the lip goes to the outside. A lot of the times what happens is the shift shaft gets bent and that's what causes it not to shift, and that's what I figured it would be. But in this case it was not. You can see the shift shaft right there. So this is going to come through to go over here. That just goes out like that. And usually these are bent, but that one looks pretty good. So, all right, take a couple pictures of things. We'll feel the crank here. The part is probably smart to feel the crank. Side to side play is pretty normal. Up and down, you don't want any up and down play. And this is feeling pretty good. Yeah, no up and down play. So that is good. Just make sure everything's smooth in here. feels pretty smooth. Crank is looking pretty good. Alright, we're gonna take some pictures and then go get the case splitter. Alright, so I just tipped this thing over and a bunch of metal just came out of the shift shaft area. I believe that's where it came out of. You can see little pieces right here. So it's not great. And then there was a ton of metal shavings, but you can see this is what came out of there. All these little pieces broken up, and then I just cleaned up a bunch of oil that had metal in it. But we're going to take off this bolt now for the flywheel and get our flywheel puller, zip that off of there. Alright, we got the flywheel puller here. Back that out a little bit. There we go. That stator's coming out. Someone's definitely been in here before. You can see that the screws were cut to make a flathead screwdriver go into it. So the stator has definitely been off before. Comes off there like that. Alright, we've got 3 more screws in here we have to get out before we can split the case. So let's work on that, and then we'll split the case and find out what's wrong with this thing. Alright, let's see if we can split these cases. That was pretty easy. This thing has definitely been apart before. Like 100%. It came apart really easily. Alright, let's see what's underneath here. Look at all the metal shavings right here. That is not good. That looks pretty good in there though, other than the metal shavings. Doesn't look too bad. Bearings aren't wrecked or anything, but you can see all the metal shavings were just, that's crazy. Alright, let's take a peek in here. See what's going on. Ooh. Check this out. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Right down here, there's some big metal chunks that are preventing that from moving. That is insane. I've never seen that before. Just huge metal chunks. Right in there. Can you guys see that? I don't know if you guys can. Kind of hard to see. Right down there. So that's very interesting. We'll try to get one of those out with a screwdriver here. Oh, it's just jammed up in there. Wow, that's crazy. It just broke free. Big chunk of it. Alright, let's see if we can get these metal pieces out of here. Man, they're jammed in there. All right. That was the piece that was stuck in there. I think that came from the spring. Let me go grab the spring and see if we can match it up. All right, I'm not really seeing a break on the spring. I'll have to look at a diagram and see if maybe that was supposed to have something on there. Kind of like that. Or like that. Not really sure. We'll have to look at the diagram and see. But yeah, that whole chunk was just lodged right in the bottom of that thing. So that's why it wouldn't shift. So, well, problem solved. That's good. Alright, so I just cleaned out all these case covers and bearings and everything with brake cleaner. Sprayed it all out and then wiped it down really nicely with all the rags. And then I sprayed out this area, got all the metal chunks out of it. Everything works perfectly now. And then I put some gasket maker on the outside. And then around this case, we're going to slap it back together here. And we should be good. Then we're going to take the shifter and try to shift through all the gears before we put it back together. Alright guys, I put the two case halves together and it's still not shifting correctly. It shifts through all the gears, but it's just too hard. So I think something got damaged in the little shift drum thing. So what we're going to do is take this all apart and check all the spaces in here and make sure there's no dings. I feel like there's like a ding in there preventing these from going into those grooves. So I think next video we're going to be doing that, and then hopefully we can put together the whole motor and be good to go. But yeah, hopefully you guys learned something on this. If your quad does not shift, it's probably either the shift linkage, which is going to be over here. Either one of these pegs is broken off on the star, or the shift linkage isn't correctly on there, or you could have a huge chunk of metal in the bottom of the engine preventing it from shifting. So one of those three, and you should be good. Anyway, next video we'll put all this back together and try to send it. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing. Till next time.